Good evening and welcome to ArTalks on the Lawn, where we take the opportunity to get to know the artists who are presenting work in our concert that is going to happen oh so shortly. So my name is Amy Elizabeth and I am the Artistic Director of AIM Dance, and in partnership with the Lamar University Department of Theater and Dance, we have come together to host Summerfest. It includes 3 weeks of concerts, 2 weeks of classes, and 1 summer celebration of dance. We watch dance, we talk dance, and we dance. All summer. So thank you for joining us. I have with me here Jay. Jay, pronounce your last name for me.
Ibarra.
So Jay Ibarra has a work in the concert tonight, a solo that he has choreographed on himself. So let's get to it. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Jay.
Yes.
Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, background, history, experience?
Thank you, Amy, for the lovely introduction. Well, I'm Jay. Actual name is Gerardo Alexander Ibarra. J-A-I actually comes from my initials, so fun fact.
Beautiful.
But I've been dancing for about 10, 11 years. I started kind of in like Latin genres with bachata, so on and so forth. Then experienced drill team. From there I went to collegiate dancing and danced at U of H for a year. My dance career at university kind of ended shortly with being sickness, things like that. From there I started teaching my own classes in 2015 at Platinum Funk Academy. Kind of hopped around different studios here and there around Houston. And then when COVID hit, I kind of was not really doing anything with everyone, not really doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I decided, okay, now's my time to go back to school. And then I tried routing around doing different things. And last year I actually came to the conclusion, I was like, okay, some things keeps drawing me back to dance. So I started going back to school for dance. And next semester I'll be attending Lamar University as well to continue my studies in dance.
Oh yes, that's right. Jay's coming to join us. Woo-hoo. Okay, so what is the title of your work that you're going to be presenting tonight? And then tell us a little bit about your inspiration behind it.
Yes, so the title of my work is Identity, and I really created this piece. So I originally created this piece last fall for when I started my dance education at Houston Community College. For one of our classes, I believe I was in the same class that we did this, where I choreographed the solo in. The professor, she gave us a prompt to just think about letters, and whether it be our name, the first letter of our name, or our entire name, our initial, our middle name, last name, whatever we wanted to go by. So I went with my middle name because I don't like my first name for my middle name. And then with that, she had to think about movement in those different letters, the different shapes. It didn't have to exactly, you have to actually see the letter A, you actually have to see the letter L, but let that inspire your movement. Mm-hmm. And from there, that kind of brought about the idea of it being more personal, which I originally wasn't thinking about that, but it just kind of just brought it out of me about my name and who I am and identity.
Yes.
And then so that brought about the piece, and from there I started thinking about who I am, what brought about me to be figuring out who I am now. And a lot of influence before I started dance, before I really was extroverted, I was really introverted before, which is kind of weird saying, you would never think that, but I really was in middle school. I really let my dad and other outside influences influence who I thought I was, or who I was outside to the outside world. And so that's where that idea of my solo comes from, is where I have a sweater inside the piece, to where that resembles the influences of my dad, the influences of other outside things, because even with things that I was being taught or being told or being forced to in a way sometimes, literally came down to the physical things I was wearing, what I could wear, what I couldn't wear. So that's why I have it represented with the sweater in the piece.
Yes, very nice. Well, I was about to ask you what the work means to you, but I think you just told us. Yeah? All right. So this is very personal to you, mm-hmm. but you're sharing it to an entire audience. So is there something in particular that you want the audience to get out of this moment, experience, or work?
That's a good question. So originally, whenever I have set out this piece, I have asked a few, since I have performed it already last fall, I have asked a few people what they took away from it, and I really enjoyed getting to hear other people's perspective before they even knew what the original idea was.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, which I'm glad it kind of wraps around or is a little similar to the original idea that I was interpreting or trying to get people to interpret. And really, I think when it boils down to it, I just want people to realize that whatever is holding them back or what they're holding onto, it's okay to release from it. It's okay to break off from that and branch off from that and become a better version of yourself, whether that be totally moving away from what you're used to or just moving further into what you're okay with.
Beautiful. I'm glad I'm a part of that audience. So you are actually a participant in Summerfest this week. So you have been in the studio from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. every single day this week.
Yeah.
So what drew you to the intensive style classes of Summerfest?
I was a little hesitant at first. I wasn't sure because of work, and I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get all this time off? But I was really interested because I've never experienced anything like this, even with being in drill team or being in other things. This is a whole different ballpark. But even being in like a summer camp or going for X, Y, and Z, whatever, any kind of experience you've had, I've never had the opportunity because I kind of started really late in the game. I kind of started like my senior year in high school. So, and then college was kind of short-lived too whenever I did start. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to start. What really brought me to really do it is just seeing all that it was offered during the intensive, and I was like, where else am I going to get this that I can see, especially being around here? I haven't really seen that there was much opportunity to have that, and I was like, why? The question I asked myself, why not invest in yourself if this is what you want to do for your future? So that's what really brought me here.
Perfect. So with that, I will ask, what has been the biggest challenge of this process this week? Because it was dancing all day long, but then we end with a performance. And so not only do you have the solo in the show this weekend, but you also are presenting our guest artist work. So we'll be performing in our performance lab, choreographed by Elisabetta Minutoli. She came in for the week and we commissioned her to set a work on our Summerfest participants. So talk a little bit about that and investing in yourself while also creating and putting other people's work out there.
Yes, it has been a lot.
It is.
But I think also, in a way, also hasn't been too much on myself. I really think this last 2 days have been the most, really. Today, honestly, getting up this morning was the hardest. But recently I have been, since I do choreograph, I actually do teach classes still currently in Houston. So at the meantime, I also have been working. I've also been choreographing throughout the day and then taking classes. So in a way, it was something similar that I've already been doing. I'm already constantly on the go in Houston. I'm constantly on go mode, and I'm literally never home, literally just sleep there. That's literally what it's for. But I'm either working or I'm in the studio choreographing or I'm in the studio taking classes. So when I kind of compared it to the hours that I was doing, it's almost very similar to what I'm doing here. So as far as being on my body, actually hasn't been too much. I've been surprised by how much I've been able to keep up. We'll see how that goes going into week 2. But it was really this last 2 days, because having the entire day like into having classes in the morning and then dress rehearsal and rehearsal and then performance and now getting ready for the next day.
Yes.
It's a lot, but I'm really enjoying the process. I really enjoy, because like I said, I haven't had an experience like this before, so it's really, really great to be able to have this opportunity.
Yeah, perfect. So, well, you've kind of addressed this a little bit. I would ask you, like, what's next for you? But I think what's next for you is that you're going to be coming to Southeast Texas a lot more, right?
For sure.
Yes, as a student at Lamar University. Well, then I think that's all the questions that I have. And so I would say, Merd, for tonight, enjoy it. Thank you for sharing your work and the work of others in our concert tonight.
Thank you.